favorite. Well, we are actually going. Sorry, guys. This is match 2 of the South African clan tournament. This is clan aoR versus team MMK. MMK, as was pointed out last game, is a Dota clan, but they have entered a team because CryTT wanted to play. CryTT is a member of Mint, and he decided that, well, if Mint can't play, he will play still. And then aoR is a fairly successful SC2 clan. I don't know if they do anything else, but they do fairly well in Polar Fluke tournaments. So, if anything, I would say in this game, particularly, I'm not too sure who the favorite is. Bouncy can beat a silver Terran, and I think Fnatic is maybe gold or platinum, so it could be interesting. What do you think, Bananalisk?
Wow, so there's a bit of pride on the line there. It's the Dota clan up against the StarCraft 2 exclusive clan.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to introduce him. This is my very good friend Bananalisk, also known as Subversion, for those of you who know him from Dota. He's currently casting from Korea, so he's going to be giving the Gosu vibes our way.
Absolutely, it's totally rubbing off on me. Okay, so everything's pretty standard so far. No early pulls or any kind of funny business.
Yeah, it looks like that.
That's it's a slightly early barracks. He's getting it on 12. It's a little bit earlier than you'd sometimes see, especially on a map with such a long rush distance.
Yeah, that is true. But, I mean, here we go. We're going for the hatchery now, 15 hatch, before the spawning pool. Is he getting another drone?
It's a very safe board on this map.
That is true. Oh, sorry for those.
That long rush.
For those who don't know,
what do you think, sir?
The name is not a coincidence. Bananalisk is a Zerg player, so he knows a bit more about Zerg than I do, and probably knows more of the sneaky Terran builds for PvZ than I do as well.
Yeah, more about the Terran abusive builds that have me swearing on the ladder.
Yeah, because oops, that's the wrong one. Because Terran's OP, hey, let me tell you.
Yeah, you're a Protoss player, so there's no Terran friends in here at the moment.
That is definitely true.
So we have a 15 pool and a 15 hatch and a 14 pool, very, very standard, very safe on this map. The Russians is really too long to try any kind of sneaky bunker rush shenanigans, so it's quite safe to open up with a hatch first.
Yeah. We're getting double gas though from the Terran. That seems a bit non-standard. Do you think it might be a blue flame Hellions?
It's quite a quick second gas. He could. Oh, well, he's going for a second barracks. And I was going to say maybe going for kind of a fast Banshee board, considering the close air distances, but he's got a sec. Oh no, there's the factory. So we could be seeing maybe a fast Banshee.
Well, Banshee is very good on this map because it's very close by air. Where Blue Flame Hellions are also very good on this map because the ramp's so big you need 2 or 3 queens to block it.
Yeah.
I remember I played when I was doing my stint as Zerg. I pretty much had a specific build order I had to keep to, otherwise I died. I either died to Blue Flame Hellions and then they ticked into Banshee, and then I died to Banshee, and then after that there were a lot of Vikings flying around. My overlords were hiding in a corner, and I was trying to get some form of control out of the game again. So
sounds a bit like every game I ever play against Terran. Actually, I wake up in cold sweat thinking about Blue Flame Hellions. They are the most difficult thing to stop, especially on a map like this. Everything's so wide. Your best chance really is fast roaches if you scout it.
Oh wow, we have a double starport going down and 1 tech lab, so it looks like we will be seeing the Banshees. There we go. That's what one of the spectators just said. We've got a spine crawler going up.
Banshee. So this is a really kind of a bit of an all-in cheesy kind of air build. It's quite hard to vary your build after going 2 port Banshee. As far as I know, you won't have the money for the cloak. Going 2 port, I don't think you'll have gas for cloak.
Okay.
So we should be seeing Banshee by cloak.
That overlord that just died, we caught the tail end of it. There were a lot of marines there making sure it didn't scout. It did not scout either of the starports. And let me just check. He hasn't seen the tech lab on the factory either. Wait.
Yeah, so he didn't really see very much at all. He may be expecting Hellions at this point with the wall with the factory.
Oh
but
no.
He'd be wrong.
Do you know what he's doing? Well, I assume because he's doing this, but he's getting siege tanks, he's getting siege tech, and getting double tech lab on the starports, and now he's getting another barracks. I almost think he's going for that very annoying Banshee tank. Oops, sorry.
aoR versus Team MK.
That should not be open.
Sorry, my
Oh,
screen.
is that yours? Okay.
Talking into yours.
Um,
Yeah, I don't really like the siege here. I feel like he seems to be able to afford it actually, so maybe I've got this wrong. It seems like quite a gas investment. But we see absolutely no response from the Zerg. He's sitting on 2 queens. There's no evolution chamber. There's no lair. He's making roaches at the moment. So I think, judging by those spine crawlers, I think he's expecting Hellions, and he's going to get a really, really nasty surprise.
yeah, he's
This could be GG as Banshees roll in. He's actually got no way to deal with this right now.
yeah. He scouted the double gas. He scouted the factory, so he must have assumed Blue Flame Hellions. Getting that tech quickly. Got some roaches to stop the Hellions, but there are no Hellions coming. Siege tanks counter roaches fairly well unsieged. Siege not so much because they do have a lot of HP, and the Banshees just counter everything that Bouncy has. So this is not looking too.
Yeah, he's knocking down this wall, but unless he goes for some kind of hectic Baneling bust, there's really no opportunity for aggression. Yeah, he's got the siege and nothing's really going to get through that wall, and it's looking pretty bad for him. He's not expecting these Banshees. He's not prepared at all. We do see an Evo chamber going down now, but I think it's going to be a little bit late.
Yeah, I think this is kind of that feeling you get in the pit of your stomach. You're going, if there were Blue Flame Hellions, they would have hit by now, and this is the panic that comes before this calm comes before the storm.
I think right now when you see these 2 Banshees, a Queen on creep actually can't outrun a Banshee, so
Oh really?
she's in trouble. And we see a huge amount of economic damage. There's no way to recover from this.
No, we are looking at 17 units lost. I think he lost a Zergling, and then other than that, there would be 16 workers.
I don't really know what he's doing here. He's kind of half firing at a hatchery, another one on the extract. I'd really like to see him make sure that no air defense goes down and he can win the game right here.
Yeah. Good transfusers.
There you go.
No, he's focusing the one that could transfuse, but he's leaving it alive. Seems a bit silly that. But just one spore crawler left. I think the Zerg's
Spore
gonna...
crawler, you could actually sit out of range of it and take out the drones though.
Yeah.
Perhaps the patch with the new route time on the spore crawler may help him a bit, but honestly the DPS here is so huge. This is looking really bad.
And now, on the other hand, we were busy saying, why get siege tech, and it's going to put him in very good state here, because the siege tanks are going to just demolish anything that comes in range.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That wall.
This is very good for any kind of counter attack. The Terran has supply blocked himself, but he's got 2 Banshees sitting in the queue waiting to be built.
Yeah, and he's got another.
A little bit sloppy on the macro there, but
he has 2 Banshees just sitting there as well, in fact. So he's having.
Yeah,
some
he
fun.
definitely could have handled his Banshees a little bit better. He threw a couple away and letting the macro slip a little bit, but he's in such a lead at the moment. I don't see him not being able to take this for the win.
Yeah, no, it does look very, very heavily Terran favored right now, but let's not forget that Zerg is sitting on less overall minerals, while Terran's sitting on 1,000, and Zerg's on 2 base. And he's back on 2 base, okay, he's trying to keep 2 base going.
Yeah, the Terran's macro and mechanics are really letting him down. The build, he's definitely got a build order win here, but his mechanics are definitely letting him down. He's letting him stockpile way too much minerals and supply blocking himself. There's nothing coming out of those barracks right now when he really should be putting down just at least making Marines. He's got to empty that gas somehow. And I'd like to see him follow these Banshees up with a big push, because the Zerg has no choice but to drone here. He's on 19 drones. Well, he was on about 14 just now, so he can't do anything without an economy. So I'd really like to see the Terran capitalizing on this a little bit more.
Yeah, this close by air strat on this map is very, very frustrating for the Zerg. People have always said, this is a Zerg favored map, but I've seen, we've got some Banshee harass going on at the natural there, taking out the gas. Going to take out that second spore crawler.
I think the reason this was always kind of hailed as a Zerg favored map was because in the beginning of StarCraft, a lot of the Terran versus Zerg builds were pretty much one base, all-in-ish kind of very aggressive builds, and you just couldn't do those builds on this map. But as the kind of understanding of the game has developed and people have worked out how to play a real proper macro game against Zerg as Terran, then this, with its narrow chokes and it's close air distances for drops. This hasn't really become much of a Zerg favored map anymore.
Yeah, I've seen Goody do two-star port cloaked Banshee harass on this map against the Zerg and do a lot of damage with it. I've seen Thorzane beat Nurtio. For those who don't know, Thorzane just took the TSL 3, and Nurtio is, last I checked, top on the European ladder. Is a Zerg. I saw him Thorzane beat Nurtio with a 2 Rex rush on this map.
Oh wow.
It was,
that's a risk. Yeah.
What he did was
I suppose you wouldn't be expecting it though, considering that a 2 Rax rush is not the best on this map.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we see the Zerg gearing up. I think this is kind of his last stand. He's going to go for a Baneling, but with those 2 tanks though, I do not see this being particularly successful.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
He wants to see that 3rd tank out. Here come the Banelings!
Not the best use of the Banelings. They're stuck behind the Roaches, and there's the GG from Bouncy.
And that's GG.
But
that's kind of his last stand.
Yeah, no, there was now that everyone's left, what Thorzane did, and I'll do it for the people still watching the screen, he put 2 Raxes in the small gap right next to the Zelnaga tower, just above the 3rd, and 2 Raxes...
yes, I have seen it.
2 Raxes block that off completely. So what happens is, the Zerg couldn't get into Scout, so he thought, okay, well 2 Raxes that far out, I must check my rocks and I can macro because he's taking an early 2nd. And it wasn't. It was just your traditional 2 Rax rush, cut down the runtime by 20 seconds, but when the Zerg saw it, there was nothing he could do.
That's quite a metagame strategy there, kind of playing on what it looks like and what you'd expect. It's a bit like that expansion cancel we've seen out of the Protoss recently in the last couple of GSLs.
Yeah, that is
where
true.
They look like they're going for a 3-gate expand, and they let the Nexus get to about 90%, and then boom, cancel, add 2 gates, and do a 5-gate all-in. It's very, very effective. But that game was a little bit disappointing. It was kind of a build order win for the Terran. I don't really feel like the guy necessarily got outplayed. The Terran was sitting with 200 energy on his CC for quite a while. He had over 1,000 minerals in the bank. It was just kind of a build order loss more than anything else. The Zerg didn't get a chance to scout that, and it just took him by surprise. He should have had that 3rd queen. You need that 3rd queen, especially to spread creep between your main and your natural, else you're very susceptible to a lot of things on that map, since your natural is so far away from your main.
Yeah, no, that is definitely something you need to keep in mind.
Okay, who do we have next, by the way?
Next is anyone that MMK decides to send out. I'm waiting on CryTT to tell me.